Welcome to the Prepped and Polished podcast, the podcast that empowers you to take control of your education, featuring weekly interviews with influencers in the world of education, as well as tutoring tips, lessons, and updates.
Hi everyone. Welcome to another tutoring tips episode of the Prepped and Polished podcast. It's Terri K of Prepped and Polished. Please be sure to check out our website, www.preppedandpolished.com, for more info. While you're there, sign up for our free tutoring and test prep tips newsletter. It comes out monthly. You can join our Prepped and Polished community on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Prepped and Polished. You can submit a question during the show or after to radio@preppedandpolished.com. We love hearing from you. Let's get right to episode number 119, ACT Essay, an organizational strategy that works. Today I'm going to give you a safety net to help you structure the new ACT essay. Since last August, I've been helping students to prepare to write the new ACT essay evaluating 3 perspectives on a contemporary issue: public health and freedom, intelligent machines, globalization, genetic testing, drones, etc. It became crystal clear that even the strongest writers were struggling to construct a unified, coherent essay. This organizational strategy will help you to provide all of the elements required to achieve a high-scoring essay. And here's a tip for you. It'll be much easier in the limited amount of time, 40 minutes, if you mostly agree with given perspectives rather than introducing a 4th perspective of your own. Now let's look at how this helpful organizational strategy can work for you. The introduction is probably the most important paragraph of the entire essay because it sets up the structure for the rest of the essay. So the introduction is relatively brief, 2 to 4 sentences. As I said, it sets up the structure. It's the foundation for the essay. And you're going to introduce or summarize the perspectives provided in the prompt, particularly the 2 with which you do not agree. And then you want to end with your thesis statement that states your own perspective and why you believe that viewpoint. Why is your opinion best? Here's a great student example from the prompt Intelligent Machines. Some people feel that intelligent machines work better than humans and are pushing us toward unimagined possibilities. However, what will humans do when their jobs are under threat by either smart software or robots? Machines are dangerous because we give them too much power. I feel that our obsession with the convenience technology affords has a dehumanizing effect. And you can see that the student addressed both perspectives that he does not support, and then he has his thesis statement at the end. Body paragraph 1 is where you want to discredit the first perspective with which you don't agree or that you did not select. Let's take a look. So body paragraph 1 is an evaluation of the first perspective that you did not select. In this case, machines work better than humans. When you evaluate the first perspective, you want to use specific examples, both historical and contemporary events. The ACT gives higher scores when you use examples, historical and contemporary. Then you want to have reasons why some people believe this perspective, but show why the perspective is flawed. Again, you're trying to discredit this perspective and indicate why your perspective is so much better. And some examples students used for this were mass unemployment, economic collapse, complex systems vulnerable to failure, such as oil wells and nuclear reactors. Body paragraph 2 is very similar to body paragraph 1, but now you're going to discredit the other perspective with which you don't agree. Let me show you how to do that. So again, body paragraph 2, you're evaluating the other perspective that you didn't choose. And in this example, intelligent machines push us toward unimagined possibilities. Again, you want to use specific examples, historical and contemporary events. You want to include reasons why some people believe this perspective, but show why the perspective is flawed. And then you want to indicate why your perspective is better. And here's some examples students used to construct this paragraph. Laws on data privacy, not keeping up with technology, like FBI versus Apple, security of personal information, data breaches, hackers, identity theft. And one student included Isaac Asimov, a renowned sci-fi author who warned us 50 years ago about robots and the potential hazards of new and future technology. I thought that was a very interesting addition. Body paragraph 3 is the most developed paragraph because this is the paragraph where you evaluate the perspective with which you agree, the viewpoint that you share. So body paragraph 3 is an evaluation of the perspective that you like. And in this example, replacement of people by machines causes us to lose our humanity. And you're going to have a more developed paragraph on why you agree with that perspective with specific examples, again, drawing from historical or contemporary events. And then you're going to have reasons why your perspective is best and why that is important, why that matters. And here's some examples students used to indicate this. The fact that people feel alienated, the dangers of social media, the need for the human touch in the workplace, jobs like judges, teachers, and doctors. I've noticed that on most high-scoring essays, there is typically a very brief conclusion, approximately 2 to 4 sentences. You don't really need a long conclusion, but make sure that you leave time to write your conclusion. That's very important. Let's take a look. So the conclusion is approximately 2 to 4 sentences. You're making a final case for your argument. You want to summarize, although some support the other 2 perspectives, they are wrong. You're discrediting the other 2 perspectives, and then you're stating why your perspective is best. You can give your key reason, and that's really all you need. Here's a bonus tip for you. If you brainstorm and write a brief outline first, it will be much easier for you. And use this structure. However, you can't structure a high-scoring essay if you don't have ideas and knowledge at your fingertips. So start preparing by reading socially relevant articles, editorials in newspapers, magazines, and online, and by listening to debated issues. There's certainly no shortage of these lately. And before you know it, you'll have accumulated a wealth of information that you can draw from for any ACT essay. This wraps up our show. Episode number 119, ACT Essay, an organizational strategy that works. Be on the lookout for our next podcast episode number 120, our next interview guest episode. Remember to access all of our podcast episodes. Go to www.preppedandpolished.com/podcast. Thanks for joining us on the Prepped and Polished podcast. Now go out there and take control of your education.
You've been listening to the Prepped and Polished podcast. For more information, check out preppedandpolished.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening. Class dismissed.